Hello all, welcome to Tintin's classes. Today's topic is climate change included in chapter 17 of Shankar IAS. Is presented by me, Shrestha Adhikari. So let's start it. When it is the topic of climate change, suddenly two questions that come to our mind are what is climate? And secondly, are climate and weather same? To answer the first question, climate is a long-term average of a region's weather events. So it is not a short-term process. Rather, it's a long-term process of a particular region's average weather events. Change in average weather events. So come to the next question, that are climate and weather same? No, climate and weather are not same. Weather is nothing but everyday changing pattern of atmosphere. So clearly it's a short term process, and climate is a long term process. So coming to the topic, what is climate change? Climate change is nothing but the change in the climate which affect the global atmosphere and which is affected by the direct or indirect work done by the human beings. So how human contributes the climate change? Human burns the fossil fuels, that is coal, oil, natural gases, and burning of these fossil fuels occurs the climate change. That is, the gases produced from this burning goes to the atmosphere and heated it up. Now we will know some perspective of climate change. First of all, there is global warming, then greenhouse effect, then greenhouse gases, climate forcing, global warming potential, and also melting of glaciers. So come to the next slide, that is what is global warming. Global warming is nothing but perceiving the earth as a globe. If we warmed it up or heat the earth's surface, it is called the global warming. Whenever the earth drastically warmed up within the last 100 years, basically the last 20 years is measured as the global warming. And there another important thing is that 2016 is supposed to be the hottest year among the last 20 years, and year by year, that is the prevailing year, is considered as the hottest year. This global warming aggravated or accompanied by some factors such as heat waves, wildfire, tropical storms, etc. There is a great impact of global warming on the climate change. How it is done? See, rise in sea level, melting of ice caps, melting of glaciers, changing in rainfall pattern, and loss of plankton, and so on. How rise in sea level occurs? When glaciers are melted, it will rise up the sea level, that is the sea water. It will rise up the sea water. Ice caps. Mountains have ice caps on its peak, and due to the global warming, it melted down. Greenhouse effect is naturally occurring phenomenon that blankets or covers the earth's lower surface and warms it up. But due to the activities of human beings, these greenhouse gases grows high and causes so many unnatural happenings. So the greenhouse effect is in the cold atmosphere or cold country, there is a glass house made to produce heat to the plants, and plants are allowed to grow inside the glass house. Similarly, the earth is supposed to be the plant and the atmosphere is like the glass house and produce the heat to the earth's surface or to the earth. Come to the next point, that is greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases can be divided into two categories, that is natural greenhouse gases and anthropogenic or man-made greenhouse gases. Firstly, these greenhouse gases are caused by natural caused by nature and then increased by the human activities. There are mainly these greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. First of all, water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, fluorinated gases, black carbon, and last but not the least is brown carbon. It was known to us that carbon dioxide produces most amount of greenhouse gases, but the fact is water vapor mostly produce the greenhouse gases. When the surface water of the earth is heating and evaporating, the evaporation rate goes high and it produces most amount of heat to the atmosphere. There is another thing that carbon dioxide makes the water vapor more warm and it is when it is come to the lower level. The next greenhouse gas is carbon dioxide, which increase due to the human activities while it is naturally present in the atmosphere. Human beings reduce carbon sinks, that is, the forest which sinks the carbon, and also burns fossil fuels by transporting or by burning combustions, manufacturing cements, metals, chemicals, etc. This carbon dioxide goes high due to the cutting of trees, because trees is the sinker of carbon dioxide and producer of oxygen. So if there is less amount of carbon sinker, that is less amount of forest, carbon dioxide will grow up and will heat up the atmosphere. Next greenhouse gas is methane, which emitted from the natural resources, that is wetlands, as well as human resources and also from livestock. In wetlands there is the bacteria which decompose organic matter and produce CH4, that is methane. And at the time of production in the industry, methane emitted to the atmosphere. As for example, at the time of transmission or distribution of crude oil, natural gases, methane emitted to the atmosphere. Now, how livestock produce greenhouse gases? Cattle, buffalo, sheep, goat, etc. produce a large amount of methane because methane production is a part of their digestive system. Now, some natural resources of methane are termites, volcanoes, wildfire, etc. The next greenhouse gas is nitrous oxide, which is denoted by N2O. Nitrous oxide is naturally present in the atmosphere by the nitrogen cycle. But there are some man-made factors as well as some other causes which increases the uh, nitrous oxide to the atmosphere. At the time of agricultural activities, the use of fertilizer causes more amount of nitrous oxide. Therefore, burning of fossil fuels, wastewater management, and also livestock's manure and urine of the livestock causes the production of nitrous oxide. The next greenhouse gas is fluorinated gases. At the time of industrial process, that is whenever there is a production in the industry, the fluorinated gases are released from the industry. And among all the greenhouse gases, this gas is the largest contributor to the atmosphere. This gas has the high global warming potential, but it can be distracted by the sunlight to the upper region of the atmosphere. This gas has mainly three categories: hydrofluorocarbon. We all know about the chlorofluorocarbon, which causes the destruction of the ozone layer. More than 100 molecules of ozone in the stratosphere are are destructed by the chlorofluorocarbon, but but hydrofluorocarbon is lesser effective than the chlorofluorocarbon. There is perfluorocarbon and also sulfur hexafluoride. This sulfur hexafluoride causes most amount of destruction to the atmosphere. The next greenhouse gas is black carbon. Black carbon is a solid particle or aerosol which warms up the atmosphere. It is produced by the complete combustion by the burning of wooden substance, coal, cow dung, etc. This black carbon absorbs most amount the sunlight and produce most amount of heat to the atmosphere. Now, what does black carbon do? It reduces albedo and absorbs sunlight. Now, what is albedo? We all know the sunlight which comes to the earth's surface and reflected by it goes back to the space, that is called albedo, and this black carbon absorbs sunlight. As we know, the black things absorbs most amount of heat, so the black carbon absorbs most amount of sunlight and produce heat to the atmosphere. The lifetime of the black carbon is from few days to few weeks. Here India and China produce 25% to 35% of black carbon to the atmosphere. To reduce the black carbon from the atmosphere, government initiates a project called Surya Project. Through this project, black carbon will be reduced by solar cooker, solar lamp, etc. The usage of solar cooker, solar lamp, etc. Now the last greenhouse gas is brown carbon. Any carbon other than black carbon, except black carbon, any carbon is brown carbon. This brown carbon is produced by the burning of wood or agricultural fire. Now come to the perspective number 4, that is climate forcing. Whenever a factor is influencing the climate system, it is called as climate forcing. That is, whenever a climate is hot, climate forcing makes it cold and vice versa. There is two types of climate forcing. First of all is positive forcing and second one is negative forcing. Positive forcing is that whenever a atmosphere is heated up by the greenhouse gases is called positive forcing, and whenever the atmosphere is cooled down by the aerosol, volcanic eruption, etc. is called as negative forcing. Now this forcing can be divided into two categories. That is natural forcing, that is forcing that is caused by natural greenhouse gases. The naturally presented greenhouse gases when creates a forcing is called natural forcing and man-made forcing. That is, whenever man is the cause of the forcing is called man-made forcing. This man-made forcing can be divided into another two categories, that is human produced greenhouse gases and human generated aerosols. Previously we have discussed about man-made greenhouse gases, that is carbon dioxide, which is produced by the burning of fossil fuels, that is coal, oil, natural gases, etc. And human generated aerosol is whenever human produce aerosol is caused the man-made forcing. Now what is aerosol? Aerosol is some fine solid particles or liquid droplets which is mixed with the air or gas is called aerosol. Aerosol creates negative forcing. Previously we have discussed that aerosol causes negative forcing. So aerosol creates the atmosphere cool. Now come to the next slide, that is global warming potential. We all know that greenhouse gases cause global warming, or greenhouse gases contribute global warming. So global warming potential is nothing but the impact of each gas on global warming. So how it can be measured? Global warming potential is the total energy which a gas absorbs. Suppose carbon dioxide absorbs the sun rays which covered to the earth's surface and restored. So it can be measured as the total energy that a gas can absorb on the basis of 100 years. It can be measured on the basis of 100 years, last 100 years, and then it is compared to the carbon dioxide. So if we compare methane with respect to the unit of carbon dioxide, it can be seen that methane is 21 times than the unit of carbon dioxide, 21 times more than the unit of carbon dioxide. Now come to the last perspective of climate change, that is glaciers. 150 years ago, there were 147 glaciers in the Glacier National Park, but now only 37 glaciers are there. According to some estimates, there will be no glaciers can be occurred within 2030. It is just because of global warming. Due to the global warming, glaciers are melting and vanishing likewise, which is called the retreat of the glacier. Retreat of the glacier means that the melting of the glaciers. Those countries which are totally depend on the glacier melted water are facing so many problems due to the retreat of the glaciers. Basically, the islands, those are facing more problems due to the retreat of the glacier. So if we sum up the whole thing, we can see firstly the combustion of fossil fuels, that is the burning of coal, oil, natural gases, etc., which occurs increase of greenhouse gases, which heats of the atmosphere and causes the effect of greenhouse gases, which further creates global warming, and the global warming creates climate change. After the changing of climate, global warming causes melting of glaciers, that is due to the production of heat, glaciers are melted, which further submerge the lower lying coastal lands. The coastal lands which are lying in the low level is submerged by the melting of glaciers, and the submergence is caused large scale destruction of ecosystem and extinction of species further. So for the destruction of ecosystem and the species is causes by the work done by the human beings by the combustion of fossil fuels. So the human beings plays a crucial role in the destruction of the total ecosystem as well as the species. So it was the entire thing. Thanks for watching. Meet you to the next video. Till then, stay tuned.